Well, Danny Taylor and Greg McKee, you don't need to fill out one of those worksheets. I filled it out for you. And we'll be contacting you when you preach and when you lead singing. It's nearby. Okay. And Greg didn't mention that Ronita did all the cooking tonight, or I think she did all the cooking, and it was really good, and a lot of people talking about it. So Ronita, thank you for all that. Everybody doing okay tonight?
I was.
You was? Well,
Say, Father, forgive you for you know not what you do.
so it's and I'm telling you, that clock up there has got me bothered. It ought to have you bothered because it says it's 6:16 or something like that. And
more time.
yeah, well, the elders told me to go to 7, so I'm not sure what to do here. So
It's 6:40 right now.
Greg's not running any chances. Well, it's been quite a while since we've been here together, and I guess we're going to have to get back into the habit of that a little bit. And so we're going to be looking again at lessons we're just taking from 1 Peter, and then probably move into 2 Peter, which is interesting part of the New Testament too. And I want to pick up in verse 9 of chapter 2 of 1 Peter. It's pretty easy material for a little while here, but it's different material in the sense that it talks directly about who we are. And you have probably heard me say over and over again, because I have talked about it to I don't know how many different audiences. We as a people spend a lot of time on what we do. Everybody realize that? We're often interested in, when we start a conversation with somebody, what do you do? And we spend a lot of time talking about what we have, or thinking about what we have, or concentrating on what we have. And I heard a speaker a long time ago in a leadership setting said, why don't people spend more time talking about who they are? And I thought when he said that, what an important idea, but not so important to business leaders as it is to those of us in the kingdom, that we spend time thinking about who we are, because who we are is the most important thing we can talk about. So I often tell young people, now I don't like to do young people speeches, but once in a while I have to do it. And I tell them, you pay attention to who you are, and you work harder on yourself, on who you are, than you work on any other single thing, and life will go well for you. But I want you to listen to verse 9 as Peter talks directly about who we are. But you are a chosen people. You are a royal priesthood. You are a holy nation. You are a people belonging to God. Now, I added a few URs in there, you probably noticed, but that's what it means. What does it mean you are a chosen people?
Set aside.
Okay, we've been set aside.
Believers.
That we're believers. Well, it's even more powerful than all that to me. I mean, He has chosen us. He's chosen us. It is an important thing in life for us to get to be chosen, because sometimes I don't get to be chosen. I get left out of the scene. I'm not picked. Don't you remember in grade school when you would line up and you're choosing teams who's going to play on this person's team, who can play on that person's team, and first guy gets to choose, next guy gets to choose, and the next one gets to choose, and I'm waiting for my name to be called, and I'm thinking, what's wrong here? My name's Ken, but I don't get chosen for a long time. How do I feel? But we are a chosen people, and we're chosen by God. This deal we're into is really, really important. And yet, the world keeps trying to tell us it's not important. And actually, it makes me feel sometimes like it's not important. The world makes me feel like a lot of other things are important. And I get bombarded by so many other things that I begin to wonder about it sometimes. But now Peter reminds me, you are a chosen people. God chose you. And you are a royal priesthood. Now to the person in that day and time, that means more than it does to us today. Because in that day and time, who really had access to God? Who got to enter in where God was? Right, the high priest and the tribe of Levi, and they were the ones that seemed to have that closer nature with God, or that special way of talking with God. And I don't have the privileges that the priests have. But then when Jesus came, he just annihilated that old system. And now he says, every single one of you is a priest. You have direct access to God, the creator of the universe. He's on your side. He's chosen you, and now you have direct access to him. So you're a royal priesthood. You're a holy nation. That meant something back then too, more than it means to us right now, because coming out of the Jewish background, they were a holy people. In the Old Testament, they had been what? Rob said it a moment ago. They had been what? Set apart. I mean, of all the people on the face of the earth, it was only that group, the Israelites, the children of Abraham, or Isaac, or Jacob, or Israel, however you want to say that. They've been set apart. And God will nurture them and take care of them as long as they're faithful to him. And so the Amorites or the Midianites or all those other ites that you read about, they're not favored. It's the Israelites. And it really makes some people angry, and it makes the Israel people really prideful sometimes. That we're God's chosen and you're not. And here today, we are a holy nation. Now, how did we get chosen? And how do we become priests? And how do we become a holy, set-apart group of people? Really special. Through Christ. And I skipped a whole lot of material right before this that talks about it's Jesus who is the cornerstone. It's Jesus who is the one who makes us able to be called all this. And so listen to what he says. He continues. You are a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. See, he moved me from one place to another. He moved me out of this darkness into a wonderful, marvelous light. Now, what's the darkness he's talking about? Sin. And the world where sin has dominion. Is it a dark place? Is the world a dark place? I challenge you tonight. I don't want you to do it actually, but I challenge you not to go watch advertisements only. Now, there's going to be plenty of them. I mean, you can't watch a show any longer because there's so many advertisements. But watch the advertisements and just write down how many are infiltrating our minds with what I would call darkness. Just corrupt stuff. Whether it be their language or be the nature of them. And most of us have learned, if there's a program we like, not to watch it live. Most of us have learned by the magic of those, whatever they are, to record. And so we can come back and we can filter all that stuff out. And now, though, what I'm finding on that is I can't even find stuff to watch except for the old stuff, and I've seen it so many times now it's even becoming boring to me. And some of my favorite all-time Westerns that I've seen umpteen times, I'm getting tired of watching them. They have no interest to me. And there's nothing left there for me to watch because that which is produced is full of darkness. And it's not just there, it's everywhere. Our world is just really, really dark. And it's messed up. And it's more messed up all the time. But we've been called out of that into His light. We're in a different spot. He says, once you were not a people. You were just lost. You were on your own. You were by yourself. That's not a really good feeling, is it? I mean, just to be scattered, with no future. But now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Now, we've heard that forever, I know, and it may not mean so much to you tonight, but those are such powerful words about who we are. There are not many sections of all the New Testament that speak so directly about the beauty of what God has done for us through Jesus Christ. He's taken us out of darkness into light. He's chosen us. He's chosen us to be heirs of His kingdom and heirs of where He lives. And He's chosen us to be with Him throughout eternity. And He has made us set apart and different. And He has shown us such great mercy because none of us deserved that mercy. And so we're really special people. And now here we go, verse 11. It's almost like therefore. But he says, dear friends, think about who you are. Now I urge you as aliens and strangers in this world. Aha. While I say on one hand, what a wonderful thing to be chosen, what a wonderful thing to be holy, what a wonderful thing to be priest, and what a wonderful thing to receive mercy, it makes you look like what in this world? Now, so here's where it gets uncomfortable.
Outsider.
Makes you look like an outsider. It makes you look different in this world. And the world doesn't like different. Do you understand that? The world is not like different. It doesn't like for you to be different, especially in the name of someone like Jesus Christ. And so what's it going to do to you if it discovers you in that different spot? What's it going to do?
He'll pull you in all kinds of directions.
He's going to pull you in different. He's going to try to pull you out of that spot. If he can't do that, he's going to try to make life harder on you than it's supposed to be. And he's going to have people talk badly about you and think badly about you, and he's going to try to make life miserable. Because now you're a stranger or you're an alien in this world. You're really different. And that makes me feel uncomfortable. So, do you know what we tend to do? Or I should say what I tend to do? So that it's not so uncomfortable?
Live as those around you.
Kind of try to live with one foot in one place and one foot in the other place. And I kind of want to blend into everything. So I can blend in with you, and I can look really good as a Christian, or fairly good as a Christian, and I can blend in the world and look pretty good out there too. I do the blending thing really well. But I'm telling you, I've been working on a lesson for Sunday. It should be the easiest lesson in the world. That's how I'll begin. It should be the easiest lesson in the world. It's a story you've heard since you were a child in John chapter 3. Only when I get into it, I think, this is not easy at all. And it's really challenging me because it's going to use some kind of term like born again. And I'm telling you, the guy who hears this born again language, he's a good guy. He's a religious guy. He's an important person. And he believes in Jesus Christ. He believes. I know your teacher come from God. And Jesus, you can almost see Jesus smile as he looks at him and says, I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell you something. You got to be born again. You can't be reformed. I'm giving you all my lesson for Sunday. You can't be reformed and make it into this kingdom. You got to be born again. And it really means something different. It means I'm a part of a different family. I've been chosen. I'm holy. I'm a priest. I've been shown mercy. And it's really different. And I don't know. We grow pretty comfortable in trying to live in both worlds.